you for your time this morning. So, as I've said, we just want to share kind of my gospel, right? And the good news to others. So, my number one question is, how did you find us?
That's a great story. Yeah.
That's yours.
I was, of course, I was in the middle of trying to figure out this Medicare stuff. And I was on Facebook one day and was getting ready to retire. And I saw this picture on there that it had a door, and on the doorknob was a little sign that said retired. And I thought, I like that picture. I could use that and all because I'm getting ready to retire. And so I clicked on the picture hoping that I could save it. But when I clicked on that picture, it sent me to opened up your link to this thing called Medicare. So under normal circumstances, whatever, anything else, I would have just clicked it back and went on and said, well, I couldn't get it. But I knew that I needed something here. And so I started reading, and I liked what I saw. And I thought, well, let's give this a chance. And I put in my information. And I think the next day you called me, and we've been going ever since.
The rest is history, right?
That's right.
Thank you. So, I guess this next question is for you both. Did you guys find Medicare confusing?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Scary.
Of course, I went through it first, and since I'm so much older,
Yeah.
as she said this morning.
That was my line. He stole it from me.
But I was looking at all this stuff and talking to people, and honestly, I had no clue. I
So
felt cut adrift.
confusing.
It was absolutely confusing. Plan A, plan B, plan C, D. If you have D, you don't have C, or if you have C, you don't need this or that, and then you go on to F, and I was just so the government Medicare puts out this book. It's about an inch or so thick, and I tried to read it, and I didn't know anything more than I did before. So it was distressing because I didn't know where to turn or what to do.
Right.
Fear, the unknown.
Yeah.
You didn't know who to trust or what
Yeah.
what to expect, or whether
Exactly.
you were doing the right thing or not the right thing, and you didn't have anybody you could count on to tell you you were doing the right thing.
And we talked to people that we knew and that were in the business for that, and it just so happened that their plan that they were selling is the best plan for me. It always seemed to work out that way, and I still didn't know anything more. It's just whether I wanted to go ahead and put the money down to buy a new plan. So, and that's where Medicare is different. So
Okay, that's good. So I'll ask you, I'm going to piggyback on that in a bit. So
okay.
because it's kind of confusing, and you can choose not to answer this, but can you give us some examples of medical or hospital bills that you think have been paid that pretty much have given you peace of mind? Again, we can skip to the next question.
Okay. Now, well, one of the things that started with me was when we first started, I had a couple of medications that were not covered by the Part D plan that I had, and you gave me some alternatives of what to do, and turned out very well. You recommended Good RX and other places to get something for the cheapest price, and I ended up finding a one of the medications for less than Good RX even
Mhm.
uh, sells it for. So that worked out well. And then I think when Carol started with hers, tell them about yours.
Yeah, well, I just went over my medications with you, and you kind of really just did the research on your own before you talked to us. You got that list from me, and um you had it all worked out. And so it's mine's been great. I've had to pay very little for my medication, very little. In fact, zero in many of them. Um, and the ones that were not covered, I had the same situation as he did, and you worked it out, and it was just great. It's kind of like when you have a fear of something and you don't know what to do, you don't have anybody that you know that you can trust. And then we met you, and you just took everything up and swooped us up in your arms and just made everything okay. And you would explain to us every detail as you went along, and you would say, now, this might not be the best, but let's look at it. And then you would work with us until you found what was the best for us. And then, like in his case, the one panned out. Did you mention about it going up?
No, I figure we'll get to that
later. Okay. But yeah, it's just been like having a comforter that's just overseeing everything and letting us know that it's okay.
Beautiful. I'm glad to hear that. And what are your thoughts? I guess the next question is, what do you think about the lifetime free customer service that we provide to you? And have we made a difference in your lives?
But well, Carol's already touched on a lot of that, and it's true. I've mentioned this to you before. God had a hand in this. You were a godsend to us because I was so totally confused and didn't know where to turn. And it took one phone call with you. You sat down and asked questions, and just in conversation, you were able to kind of determine my needs. And by the time we hung up that day, I was thoroughly, completely confident in what I was getting, and had no problem. And of course, Carol came along a couple of years later in terms of the retirement.
Because she's younger.
Yes, because he's so much older than me.
But
right.
when it came time for her to do that, no, it was no problem. I was talking to you and had just mentioned that Carol will be turning 65 in a few months. You wrote it down, and right on time, you called her. I had no doubts of what we were going to do, and anything else ever comes up, you're there.
You told him that you were going to just pencil my name in, and 6 months before I turned 65, that you were going to call me.
Right.
Well, how many people tell you that you never hear from them? But you were right on it. And you called, and you just took it and ran with it.
And also, it's every year at the open enrollment time, have no anxiety, have no worries, because we know that you're there. And just like this past year, my plan D, my part D plan went up. Now, I mean,
Mhm.
insurance, it goes up every year. I mean, that's just a fact of life. But this one went way up. Uh, it,
Like
it doubled. The premium doubled.
Mhm.
And I called you to tell you that. And
the
once
next
again,
day.
you went to work, and the next day you called me and you gave me some choices of plans there, and we went over them. And once again, we changed, and it was the same price as the other plan before it went up.
But better benefits.
And I actually ended up getting better benefits on some of the medications that are on there. So
Perfect.
once again, you come through for us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So I guess my last question is 10,000 people turn 65 every year, right? And a lot of them are looking for guidance. So what are your tips, or what can you say to others who are just becoming new to Medicare?
I that the same thing that I've told everybody that I know that I meet that are doing that. I give them your name and number and say call them, because the way that I look at things right now, either they are associated with Medicare or they have a second rate plan
Or they're
Right.
confused like
or
we
they're
were.
still confused.
Yeah, so many people are just scared and confused, and
Uh-huh.
we're just able to kind of give them a piece about it because we have that. Um, we were that confused and stressed out until we met you, and now it's just so comforting. You know, it's like having somebody having your back.
Right.
And so we try to share that with as many people as we come in contact with that we know could benefit from it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And we're in
You're
it for
welcome.
life, right? We're partners.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's
Exactly
right.
We're
right.
partners for life. We're teammates for life. So
Yes.
I think that that's all the question. Are there any other comments that you want to impart?
Um, well, no, I guess that's about it. It's just that I could not stress to people more how much I recommend you and your company for their Medicare needs. I couldn't stress that enough.
You
So,
are a lovely, patient, kind, family oriented, caring, determined to meet the needs of your clients. And I can't say enough good about you.
And I can't say enough good about you guys too, because
Oh,
she's got
we've
the
become
wings.
friends, right?
yeah.
And I love that my
We have.
clients become family. I don't take that for granted. I so appreciate that you guys are such blessings to me too.
Yes.
So
And you are
thank
to
you.
us.
Thank you.